This is from a long time ago. Right, okay. So I did originally call this session, the title was just meditation. And then I realised that, right there, so decided that the description meditation is the wrong description for the content of this, because it's not about meditation. It's actually about waking up, and not because it's the morning, and we all want to wake up, but it's slightly different as I explain as we go through. So there's a total of 7 slides. This is the first one. It's going to take 15 minutes. I just wanted to position what this is about before we actually do it, which will be the second half, the final 15 minutes. And the reality is that we all spend quite a lot of our time doing 3 things predominantly. We're either dwelling on what's happened in the past, sometimes in a positive way, but a lot of the time not in a positive way. So we're thinking, oh, I wish that hadn't happened, and I really regret doing that, and I wish I was with a different person. And we spend a lot of time doing that in our heads. Now, when I was trained to meditate by this pretty cool Buddhist monk, he described the voice, so the thinking about the past that's constantly going around in your head, he described it as the monkey, the voice of the monkey. Yeah, and it's just yammering away. And the important thing is just remember that is not actually you. That voice that you're hearing in your head is not you. Yeah, you are slightly different. So don't for 1 minute think that this session here is anyway religious. It's not particularly spiritual either. And as we get further, you'll see that there's some real thought gone into this 2,500 years ago by a chap called Buddha, who went out into the world with the purpose to find what he described as the end of suffering. Now, this is just a small part of what he came back with, but it's something that we really can apply today in our lives. So when we're not thinking about the past, we're worrying about the future. So, you know, you may well all be sat here looking at these slides, you can hear my voice, but I ask you, how many of you at this point are actually thinking about the phone call that's coming up in an hour and a half's time, what you're going to have for lunch, what you're going to do tonight? Yeah. So although you're receiving what's on the screen here and you're hearing my voice, you're actually thinking either about the past, yeah, about the fact you had a bad day yesterday, or you're thinking about what's going to happen at the next point, which is, it's all a bit strange. And if we're not doing that, we're usually either wanting or not wanting something. So whether it's, I'd really like to have that faster, bigger car, but it doesn't have to be just about physical stuff. Yeah, so we're all wanting or not wanting something. So I really wish I didn't feel ill is an example of an experience, or, you know, something I don't want, or I really wish that I hadn't married that person. I wish I was a millionaire. So we're wanting or not wanting stuff. And if it's not physical stuff, like cars and houses and all that, it can also be experiences. So this relates to the situation where you might be in the car on the way into work and somebody carves you up, yeah, and suddenly you're shouting at them out the window. That's an experience that you don't want, yeah? So not wanting something. So we're either looking into the past, looking into the future, or not wanting or wanting stuff. So how many of you watched the video? Yeah? Okay, cool. So the video started off looking at stress. Okay, so it was identifying, what it was effectively identifying is that we as human beings are not equipped to deal with the types of things that we're dealing with on a daily basis. So we have not evolved from when we were living in caves, and all we were basically interested in was going off and getting the next food and defending the cave. We have not actually evolved to deal with the complex issues that we all now face: financial issues, health issues, relationship issues, work issues, and all of that is creating stress for us. So that was why I sent out that video, because it is kind of relevant. So the things, when we're looking into the past, dwelling on that, or looking into the future and wondering what's going to happen in the future, the net result is that these things that you see on the right-hand side generally go up. So we will experience more stress, we'll have anxiety. Depression, you may not realise, but statistically 1 in 9 people in this country not only actually have depression, okay, but they're being treated with medication for it. So if you apply that statistic to clear vision, you've practically got enough people to make up a whole department who are probably statistically depressed and being medicated for it. Okay. Now, antidepressive medication, it's pretty hardcore stuff. And I know, because I've been on it, I've done it, and I've come off it. And I came off it because of this. Okay, so for me, the scientific research that has been done, and it's available on the web, research where they basically said, right, here's a bunch of people that have got depression and are being treated for it with medication, happy pills, whatever you want to call it. Here's a bunch of people that have got depression and they are not being treated with medication. They're applying mindfulness and meditation-induced mindfulness, and they actually proved scientifically, they didn't prove that meditating and mindfulness was more effective, but it's as effective as medication. That's a pretty big deal for anybody that's in that category. So all this dwelling on the past, worrying about the future, wanting stuff and not wanting stuff, it creates anger, it creates relationship problems, you can't sleep properly. Ultimately, it can end up in people committing suicide if it gets really bad and it's not controlled. So it is a big deal. So where we actually want to be is, instead of looking into the past and dwelling on the future and wanting stuff, what we actually want to be is present, in the present moment. Okay, so this is called mindfulness, because the more time we spend not looking into the past or the future and wanting stuff, the more time we're actually spending being aware. So we're sat here, are we all completely 100% in the present moment, not thinking about anything else? Try and see if you can get to that point, because we're going to try in a minute to do it, and it's not very easy. But the more time we can spend in the present moment being aware of what's going on, so that it's not the voice of the monkey that we're hearing that's yammering away, judging people, and worrying about what's going to happen tomorrow, the more time we can do that and be in the present moment, statistically it's been proven that these aspects on the right hand side will reduce. So it's been scientifically proven. Just a quick quote of what mindfulness is, because I know we've all probably come into here having different ideas of what meditation is, and meditation really is just the means to the end in this situation. But it's the practice of bringing one's attention to the internal and external experiences occurring in the present moment. I won't read the rest of it. But basically it's about being aware of what's happening now, properly 100% aware. Now obviously we want to actually apply that to our normal daily lives. Yeah, and that's why this chap Buddha, and I'm not a Buddhist, yeah, that's why he decided that it would be a good idea to do this every day at least. Now if you go to a Buddhist monastery, they spend most of their time meditating. I do it once a day, and I have done every day since I came back from this Buddhist monastery, which was 8 months ago, something like that. I was lucky enough to be in a situation where I could build it into my daily routine, and I've carried on doing it. So I spend 20 minutes every morning meditating. And the reason why I do it is because it's practicing. So what we're actually doing when we do mindfulness meditation, okay, we're not really trying to relax. We're not really trying to think of nothing. Yeah, we're not necessarily listening to music or reading a book. Mindfulness meditation, which is a very specific type of meditation, yeah, is about practicing being mindful during that period of time. So what we're effectively doing is we are obviously going to relax. We're going to close our eyes. So this is how we're going to do it as we kick off in a few moments. We're going to close our eyes, we're going to relax, and then we're going to focus on our breathing, okay? So when we do this, I'm going to talk you through it so that we stay on track. Now, what we're actually doing when we focus on the breathing, we're going to breathe in and out normally. I would recommend through your nose if you can. Okay, I'm going to ask you to focus on a point in your body where you can detect the movement of air coming in. So for me, I usually focus on my nostrils, and I focus on the air coming in through my nostrils and going out. Yeah, it's useful. And the reason I'm doing that, and the reason we're going to do counting as well on the out breath, so we're going to count in, yeah, and then on the out breath we're going to count up to 5. So in 1, in 2, yeah, up to 5. When we get to 5, we're going to count back down again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, the reason we're doing that is because it's a distraction. So we're finding something that we can focus on, and in this case it's our breathing and the counting. More focus on the breathing and the sensation of the air coming in and going out. Now what you're going to notice, and I guarantee it 100%, yeah, and all the monks that meditate, and when I meditate it happens many times, yeah, your mind will wander. So what we're trying to achieve by doing this is we're trying to achieve recognizing when our mind has wandered. So that's the gym, that's the gymnasium, the meditation purpose, that's the goal. The goal is to get into the habit of recognizing when we're going off to think about something that's in the past or the future, yeah, or things that we want or don't want. And then when we recognize it, bring it back to focusing on the breathing. And that is going to happen. It will be a cycle. It will go on and on and on. And if you spot yourself going off and thinking about something else, doesn't mean you failed at all. It means you've succeeded because you've spotted it and you come back to the breathing again. And that is it. It's simple. Yeah. When I meditate in the morning, I usually open the window because I find that the sounds that come in through the window, birds, aeroplanes taking off, sound of traffic, I can use that as a distraction, and it also brings me into the present moment. So everybody comfortable with it? Cool. Where are we on time? Bang on target. Repeat daily. Okay. So I know it's a bit strange because we're all sat here with our colleagues about to do something that we wouldn't normally do. Yeah. Going to do something that some of us might not be entirely comfortable with, but we're because we're in the company of colleagues.
Can we keep our clothes on?
You can keep your clothes on. Yeah. I'm just gonna go off and put my yellow stuff on. Thanks for that. Okay. So the important thing I would suggest at this point, maybe stand up just for 10, 20 seconds if you want to make sure that you're going to be comfortable, because we're going to be pretty stationary for a quarter of an hour. Yeah. So it's important to get comfortable. Yeah. Nice big yawn. Lovely jubbly. Okay. Everybody hold hands. Okay. Now I am going to do this as well. So okay. And I'm also recording this session as well. So if anybody wants to listen to it afterwards to understand how we've done it, they can. So we're going to start off by, I would suggest if everybody is sat somewhere where they can rest their arms, whether it's on the table or on their laps. Yeah. So the important thing at this point is to get into a sustainable position that you think you might be able to hold for about a quarter of an hour. Where you can. It doesn't matter if you move throughout, but you're going to find it more enjoyable if you're not uncomfortable. Okay. So we are going to have to close our eyes, I'm afraid. So if you'd like to just close your eyes now, okay, you'll probably start breathing through your mouth to start with, okay, which is fine. But I now want you to just focus on the sensations that you've got in your body at this point. So focus on, we're going to just try and relax a bit, because it is important to relax during this process. Okay, so start to feel the weight of your hands, either on your legs or on the table in front of you. Just feel that experience. Feel the sensation of gravity pulling you down into your chair. And just start to try and relax a bit. So focus on the different parts of your body. We'll start off in your shoulders. So just relax your shoulders and your upper arms, lower arms and hands. And then let's start going down your chest, from your neck down to your chest. Just focus on relaxing. Try to become aware of any tension that you have in your body. Down into your stomach, so try to relax. And then your upper legs, just try and feel those relax as well. At this point you might want to start breathing through your nose, if that's more comfortable, but it doesn't matter. Now your lower legs, feel those relax. And your feet. As your breathing starts to slow down, your body will start to relax more. So I just want you to become fully aware now of your entire body, and just quickly check in with yourself to see whether you really do feel relaxed at this point. And if you can identify any areas where you are not relaxed, just focus in on those now. And just get used to breathing gently. Become aware of the noises in the room. We've got the noise of the fan of the projector going, and the distant sound of voices, and a car pulling up. So just become aware of those, because that's going to help you stay more in the present moment at this point. check back in with the overall status of relaxation in your body. Start to feel your face relax now. So your eyes are already closed. Start to just feel the rest of your face start to relax. Now I'd like you to focus in on the breathing. So feel, as you breathe, feel the air coming in through your nose and going back out through your nose. Notice how when the air comes out as you exhale, just notice that it's a bit warmer. Just experience that breathing exercise. And just check back in again with the rest of your body. Are you still relaxed? If you're not, relax anywhere that isn't. Right, now, so you should certainly now start to be feeling fairly chilled. You're starting to pay some attention to your breathing. And now what I'd like you to do is on the next sequence of breathing, I'd like you to start counting on the out breath. So starting at 1, and then, but make sure that you're breathing normally, so don't breathe any faster to try and cope with the fact that you're not counting. Just breathe normally, and as you breathe out, count. We're going to count up to 5, and then we're going to count back down again to 1, and we're going to keep repeating that. I'm not going to actually do that because we all breathe at different speeds, and it's important that you are breathing at the speed that's comfortable for you. But now I just want you to start in your head counting on each out breath. It's quite normal at this point, although your body is relaxed, it's quite normal at the beginning of the counting that your mind is going to be all over the place. Possibly so all over the place that you can't even identify the single things that you're thinking about. So that's quite normal. Just carry on focusing on the counting and the breathing. Your body should be quite relaxed now. If you're like me, you've already gone off and you're thinking about something else, what's happening later today, so just spot that. There's nothing wrong with that, just bring it back to focusing on the breathing and the counting. You may even find that you go past 5 accidentally. I've done that before, because you're actually thinking about something else. Again, it doesn't matter, just come back to focusing on the breathing. I'm just going to bring you back in case anybody has drifted off. So it takes a bit of practice to spot when that happens. So back on the breathing. If you've meditated before, you may find that you don't need to count the duration of the meditation, and you can just focus on the breathing itself. If you want to try that, then go ahead and try it. Just focus on the breathing. Just quickly check you're still feeling relaxed. Everything should be feeling heavy at this point. Okay. So start to become more aware of your surroundings again. Feel the weight of your hands on the table or your legs. Hear the sound of the projector again. As you become more and more present in this moment. And when you feel comfortable to do so, gently open your eyes. And there you go. Good.
Did you just hypnotise us?
I have not been inappropriately touched. Yes.
So what the monk used to do to end the meditation was just go, yeah. So it is easier to do if there's somebody guiding you through it to start with, but it really is also, if you can start to build it in to your day, yeah. I do it in the morning purely because it sets me up for the day, yeah. And I will document the process properly, and this has been recorded so you can listen to it if you want to. I'm happy if you want just a voice, if you just want a recording of me guiding you through a meditation, I'm happy to just produce that so that you've got something that you can listen to at home if you want to and just practice it. But as you get further into this, you're actually going to start to enjoy the silence of just doing it yourself without being prompted. And remember, it's not about the meditation. The meditation, it's the practice of being able to recognize when you're going off thinking about something else. That's all it is. It's a really nice, relaxing experience as well. And you end up feeling like we all feel now, which is actually pretty chilled. Yeah? But the purpose of it, it's the means to an end. The end being spending less time thinking about the past and the future and what I want and what I don't want. More time actually being aware of what's going on around us. You know, how many meetings do we sit in where we're not really there, we're checking emails, we're not really there. Yeah, but there are a lot of companies, big companies out there now, that will actually start off business meetings, internal business meetings, by saying, right, we're just going to stop for 30 seconds and wake up. Yeah, so that we're all actually in the room and not just thinking about other stuff. And there's some big players out there that do this. Google do it. I think Microsoft. So there's a lot of companies in our industry that practice mindfulness. And that's it. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Russ. That was really good.
Ross, I'm in bed now.
Yeah. Have a lie down.